There are moments in history when the balance of power tilts, not through grand battles or sweeping victories, but through a single breath in which truth confronts arrogance. These moments rarely find their way into official reports. They live instead in whispers, passed between soldiers at night, cited by commanders as quiet warnings, and remembered by those who witnessed the turning of a tide. This is one such moment. It began on an overcast morning at Forward Base Harkin, where tensions often ran thicker than the fog that rolled across the training fields. Soldiers stood at rigid attention for a routine battlefield inspection, an event notorious not for discipline, but for the presence of Captain Aldrich Vorn.
Vorn was a man who enjoyed the weight of his rank more than the responsibility of it. His uniform gleamed, his voice carried like a hammer, and his punishments were legendary for their cruelty. To him, inspections were not about readiness, they were displays of dominance.
Among the newest recruits stood Private Rowan Hale. Young, silent, and unassuming, Hale was the kind of soldier Vorn often ignored. But beneath that quiet exterior lived a sharp mind and a discipline carved through hardship rather than privilege. That morning, however, Hale did not escape notice. The captain's gaze locked onto him with cold precision. A bead of disdain formed instantly. Then came the order. An order so blatantly corrupt, so clearly intended for humiliation, that even the veterans shifted uneasily. Captain Vorn instructed the recruit to falsify a combat readiness report, one that would cover the captain's own failures during a recent maneuver gone wrong. Everyone knew it was wrong. Everyone knew defiance meant punishment. But no one expected what happened next. When Hale stepped forward, the entire formation seemed to lean in without moving. The base fell under a suffocating stillness. Private Hale looked directly at the captain, calm, steady, unwavering. "Sir, I will not alter battlefield data," he said, voice low but unshakable. The captain's jaw tightened. He stepped forward, close enough that the medals on his chest brushed Hale's collar. "You will," he hissed, "or you will be broken." Vorn reached for Hale's report tablet, intending to smash it to the ground and publicly shame him. But Hale moved first. A sharp, precise motion, clean, controlled, undeniable. He intercepted the captain's wrist with a single fluid maneuver taught only in advanced restraint training, twisted it offline, and stopped just short of forcing the captain to the ground. The crack of shifting joints echoed like a gunshot across the field. Then silence. Absolute, paralyzing silence. The base froze. No one breathed. And Captain Vorn, once the terror of the ranks, stood immobilized in the grip of a mere recruit.
The moment Hale released him, the captain staggered back, eyes wide with something far more raw than pain: fear. His arm trembled as he held it close, not daring to show the injury outright. The power he had always carried so effortlessly seemed to drip off him like water. Around them, rows of soldiers remained frozen in place. They had witnessed countless displays of the captain's cruelty, but never its collapse. Many had dreamed of it. None had believed it possible. Then, slowly, sound crept back into the world. The soft rustle of uniforms, the nervous shift of boots, the breath of 100 soldiers finally released. Vorn tried to speak, tried to regain his dominance, but when he opened his mouth, no words came out. Colonel Seren, the base commander, stepped forward from the line of observing officers. He had seen everything. He had in fact been watching Vorn for weeks, collecting fragments of misconduct. But nothing in his reports had prepared him for the clarity of this moment. "Captain Vorn," the colonel said evenly, "step back." It wasn't a request. It was a verdict. The captain obeyed. Colonel Sarin then turned to Hale. "Private," he said, "explain your action." Hale met his gaze with the same steady calm he had shown moments earlier. "Sir, I acted to prevent the destruction of government property and to maintain the accuracy of battlefield reporting. Not a word more, not a word less. Duty, nothing beyond it." The colonel held his stare for a long moment, letting the weight of the truth settle over the assembled ranks. Finally, he nodded. "Your response was controlled, precise, and justified." A ripple moved through the formation. The truth had been spoken aloud. A line had been drawn. As Captain Vorn was escorted away for formal review, not a single soldier looked at him. Eyes followed Hale instead. The young recruit who had revealed that real authority comes not from rank, but from integrity. That day, the base learned a new moral the hard way. Power loses its force the moment it faces someone who cannot be bent by it.
Time passed, and the incident became something larger than an inspection gone wrong. Within weeks, whispers about the confrontation traveled beyond Forward Base Harkin. Recruits arriving from other regions asked whether the story was true. Veterans repeated the details with reverent precision. By the end of the season, the tale had taken on a life of its own. It was said that Private Rowan Hale had not simply stopped a corrupt order, he had restored a forgotten standard. Officers recalled the moment when the entire base fell silent, describing it as the clearest reminder that discipline without honor is nothing but tyranny. As for Captain Vorn, his record was stripped, his authority dissolved, his career quietly closed. His name lived on only as a cautionary tale. But Hale's name, his name ascended. He rose through the ranks not through aggression or ambition, but through the same quiet resolve he had shown that morning. Soldiers under his command often spoke of how he never raised his voice, never demanded fear, only respect, earned and returned. Years later, when asked about the legendary incident, Hale offered only a single line. It became famous enough to be etched on training hall walls. "Strength means nothing unless you can choose not to use it." Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories from States of History.